Hey everybody, welcome to Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. I'm Peter.
Hey, and I'm Frank. That was
All right.
enthusiastic, wasn't it? It was very enthusiastic there. So, before you tell folks that we're going to talk about Gwyneth Paltrow today, I have a question. Actually, it was a question that was sent to me by my friend Nif. So, Nif, thanks for this idea that we have.
What's the question?
If you could be a character in any movie, who would you be?
Character from any movie? Yeah, that's a broad one.
That's
a great question.
That is a great question. That's what makes it so much fun.
That's a great question.
So all-encompassing.
Alrighty, very good. I'll think about that one. Today's
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow. Oh, and we should maybe also just tell people, if you have a question.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We just used one right now.
Yeah.
So if anybody's got a question out there they want to throw out, yeah, just put it in the comments.
Yeah.
Love to do it. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah. We'll also give shout outs, happy birthdays, stuff like that, happy anniversary. Yeah. You just got out of prison, whatever.
If you pay us, we'll say anything.
Yeah. No, I do it for free. Do it for free.
It's a bad attitude.
I really do. So, all right.
Gwyneth Paltrow. I like Gwyneth Paltrow a lot. She gives good performances, but she's also in some good movies stuff. So we're starting with me. I'm going to save my favorite for last.
Okay.
Just normally I'll try to get it. I'll say it first, but I'm going to save this one for last. I'm going to go with one of the other two performances. Then I'll start with Shakespeare in Love.
Okay.
Shakespeare in Love. We've actually mentioned this for other actors.
For other actors, we've mentioned this. Well, it's a good movie.
Yeah,
it's not bad.
Hers is a great little role because it's not little. Hers is a great role. It's a gem to land this role, but she does it so well. She plays Viola, but she's also playing another character. Viola is playing the part of Thomas Kent or whatever his name is, and so takes place in the backstage and the whole inner workings of
behind the scenes of
Shakespeare and that whole scene.
I've been there actually.
Have you?
Yeah,
very good.
Stratford, yeah, it's beautiful.
Very good. I'm not talking like up in Ontario or
no,
Connecticut.
I'm talking
We're
about
talking that
Stratford-on-Avon.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. But this one, shows like the inner workings, what's going on, and at this time in the British stage, the accepted practice is that all the actors are male.
Everybody's a guy.
So doesn't matter. You play the love interest as a girl. You play an old woman. It's a male actor taking that part. So her character Viola is the daughter of a wealthy person.
She's a local noble woman.
So she's got access to seeing plays, and so she's got a good little background there. So she's acquainted with, that art form. Yeah. She gets to see a lot of stage plays done. So, she would like to try her hand at this sort of thing, but the way the power structure is, she's got to dress up as a man to try out. So she tends to be a young man, and she's going to try out for the play that Shakespeare is working, this Juliet. Well, she goes for Romeo. She goes for the part of Romeo, and what is it? Romeo and Ethel.
Yeah,
Romeo and Ethel, the sailor's
Ethel's
daughter, or
sailor,
something.
the captain's daughter, something like that.
Yeah, it's a work in progress for Shakespeare.
It's a working title.
Yeah. So as things progress, anyway, she and the Shakespeare character are hitting it off. She sees more potential in William Shakespeare as an author as opposed to Christopher Kit Marlowe there. And so at this point, Shakespeare is the one who's really not doing as well as Marlowe. And so that's one thing. So she becomes, they become an item, Shakespeare, Viola.
Kind of a muse.
She's his muse, and that's what it is. She's what's kind of turns his, his career around. So he's more productive, and it gets better. And so, of course, Romeo and Ethel, the sailor, the sea captain's daughter, whatever it's called, that gets amended. It's changed, and now it's Romeo and Juliet. And so she's just wonderful role because she gets to play this, two different characters that's the same person, but and it's wonderful. They pull it off nicely. It makes the story fun and believable at the same time. Like, oh, that could happen. We don't know, And it's just, this sounds so. It sounds so like hackneyed almost, but it's a breezy romp. It's a breezy romp. This movie. What can I say?
Yeah, no,
it's
a fun movie.
She's fun in it, and it's a fun movie. And I think she brings a certain joy to this.
That's
thing.
a good one.
So I
what else
like
got?
that one.
I know what your third one is, by the way. I know what your favorite.
Oh,
is.
I'm sure you do.
So your middle
I'm
one.
sure
that's,
you do. So the second one I'm gonna pick is she plays Sylvia Plath, the poet, in the movie Sylvia. And this is a tough one.
Super depressing.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Because even before she meets her husband, she's already tried to commit suicide. And then even when Ted, her husband, she's a poet,
and
her husband is also a poet. At this point, he's much more well known. He's British. He's much more well known. She's American, and she is not. But what's going to happen after her death is, we know from just history, literature, she becomes much more well known than he is. But at this time, she's not so well known. So the husband, Daniel Craig, plays Ted Hughes. He when
you mean he plays Hughes, Ted Hughes.
That's right, Ted Hughes. So they go back to the U.S. She's in school. She meets on a Fulbright scholarship or one of those scholarships. So she's over there at Oxford or wherever, and she meets him. And they fall in love, that sort of thing. And so he has to go back to Massachusetts to meet, her family, which is essentially her mother, and which is played by Blythe Danner, which is Gwyneth's real life mother. And it's not like it's like she even hides it, but the mother tells the husband, the mother tells her son-in-law, she's tried to kill herself before. It's only a matter of time before she's successful. And it's like, oh my God. It's like, that's it? Wow.
Mother's Day in that house is really stressful.
It's like, it's just a matter of time before she's successful. It's like, oh my goodness. So, there's a lot of stuff going on. And Gwyneth Paltrow, she's neurotic. There are things that you can say, well, I can understand maybe why she is. Like, her husband is adulterous. I mean, he's having affairs. He's a professor. It's just one of those things. But you see his side too. Like, she's tough to live with.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's not an excuse for what he's doing, but what I mean is that home life is not very good. So they do at some point separate. They just living separately. They have 2 children, and she does things that it's tough to explain. She'll wreck his office or set fire to papers. Stuff. She's neurotic. It's not a bubbly movie.
No,
and she's very good in it. And you kind of know, you already know the ending before the movie starts because you know that she does commit suicide in real life. So you already,
Sylvia Plath, not Gwyneth Paltrow.
Right, okay. Sylvia Plath. Most people, I'm going to say most people, I guess, would know it. If you're going to go see a Sylvia Plath movie, you probably already know about her.
It's not going to be as funny as you think it is.
And so it's a wonderful performance. It really, it's tough. It ends up with her death and suicide, but it's tough. But
good role.
I love that role. It's a good role. And my third one, it's my favorite performance, but you already sensed where I was going. It's one of my favorite all-time movies, and it's in the Royal
Emma.
The Royal Tenenbaums, right? It's Emma. No, in the Royal Tenenbaums, Margot Tenenbaum, and it's every performance in this. I love every performance in this movie, but we're talking about Gwyneth today, and her performance as
we actually overlap on this
as Margot is just great. And what's funny is there's 3 children. We see them younger, but then most of the movie takes place when they're older. So she's the only daughter, but she's also adopted. And she's the only one that is adopted. For whatever sleazeball reason, it's always told to her and reminded by her father, Royal, that she is his adopted daughter. This is my adopted.
And what's great,
this is my adopted daughter.
But
it's just like, what are you doing all the time?
What I love about him doing that is there's no real reason for it. It's not out of malice.
No, it's not. He's just ignorant and out of it.
Well, that's the thing. It's not to sort of explain away some sort of behavior.
Yeah,
it's
just a matter of fact thing he does.
There's
like a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah,
there's
no need to point it out, and it comes off as sort of sleazy, and Royal does. Royal is
because he is sleazy
and a lawyer. Just saying. But I think that. But there's no, I said, there's no malice.
There is no malice. It's just like
saying,
it's just his day at the office.
Yeah, this is my blonde daughter.
Yeah.
It's just he's just stating a fact.
It's like, this is my car. It's a 1957
exactly.
Chevy. That's how he is. It's just he just describes her that way all the time.
Yeah.
And that always just like, it infuriates me. But that's how he is.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
So she's adopted. And she's, you could say, okay, she's the daughter, she's the only girl, and you say, because of that, she's mysterious. Well, she's not mysterious. She's downright secretive. She's got this whole other life going on. Nobody even asks questions because it's like, she has a part of her finger missing. We'll just go with it. Okay, you're missing a finger. Do we have a story? Well, we know as the audience, but the family just doesn't seem to know.
Don't know.
They find out. Oh, good.
Well, I was just going to say what's great about that character is how well adult Margot and child Margot. It's almost as though
matched up.
Yeah,
it's
like almost as though they're
like,
you know what? We're going to film child Margot, and we'll wait for her to grow up.
Exactly, because it's got to be the same person.
Because it is so perfect, and I give credit to both Gwyneth Paltrow and that little girl whose name I have no idea.
I couldn't tell you who
that name is. But yeah, that is, and it's so well, and I think that it's the best because you see all the children and you see them all as adults.
Yeah.
But I think that those pairings are the best.
She's
of
so
all of them.
she closes herself in with that mink coat, and she's so secretive, and so like there's these things about she's missing like a part of her finger.
She was married at one point.
She was married. She was married to a reggae star.
Yeah.
Years before, nobody knows about that one. I mean, it comes out later. She smokes. She's in her late 20s, and she's still hiding cigarettes from her mother, her husband. It's like she needs to be secretive about things. Some cases I can maybe understand, but some of them, like, really? You're like worried about your mother finding out that you're smoking? It's very strange, but it's all part of this complex thing. She was an acclaimed or fairly acclaimed playwright at a young age. Now it's kind of had a little bit of a dry spell. She is married to Raleigh Sinclair, which is the Bill Murray character.
Yeah.
But nobody knew that she was married once before. But as all this is going on, anyway, she's having an affair with their old friend and neighbor, Eli Cash, who's played by
one of the
Owen Wilson.
I don't know. They're both in this.
Because
confusing.
Because Luke Wilson plays Richie Tannenbaum, who, poor schmuck, he's been pining for his sister for a long time, and he's even gone to sea to get away from it all because he can't be reminded about his sister. He's crazy about his sister, and of course,
too.
Yeah, but he's just even afraid to say it.
Yeah.
So she's suspicious of it because she has feelings too for him, and all this is going on, and she's I just love the performance. It's just everybody in the movie is wonderful. Everybody's got pretty good role to have. I just loved hers because a lot of stuff centers around her. Whether it's everybody's because they're family, they all center around each other. But her case, it's because of the Richie involvement that adds a whole other dimension.
One of the things I like best about that role for her is, and it's in contrast to the other stuff that I'm going to talk about, is that it is so muted. And she's just exactly the fur coat thing.
She has that
really
fur coat, and she's just like shrunken, and her shoulders are even like really
I don't
narrow.
think she cracks a smile throughout the whole movie.
No,
she's just so dead. She's got the heavy dark makeup on her eyes, and she's just so closed off. Nothing. She's not enthusiastic about anything. She's just.
She isn't enthusiastic about anything, but the one scene that always kind of gets me is she's sitting in the bathtub, and her mother, which you think if she has any connection with anybody, it would be with her mother.
Yeah.
And her mother's like, knocking on the door. Raleigh asked me to come over, and she's knocking on the door, and she's soaking in the bathtub, and she finally gets in, and she sits, and she goes, well, I came over because your husband's so worried about it. And then you find out that she's been in the bathtub like all day long, and so she's worried, and so she's sitting there. But as all this is going, there's like a TV set that's precariously placed right over the water in the tub, and so mother's like, do you think it's a good idea that and she maybe even has her foot out. Like you're not even sure if she's like dangling, like playing with the cord. You're just like, what is she doing?
But the thing
is she just tempting fate sometimes?
No, but I think that what's great about that scene is that her mother points that out.
Yes.
And so she's been in the tub for days. She's avoiding her husband. She's she's just sitting there watching some tiny black and white
tiny
TV.
black and white thing.
And you think that she's kind of. she's she's slipped a little bit. She's out of gear.
Yeah.
But when her mother mentions the TV, she says, is that really a great idea?
Choice, yeah.
But then Margot's like, well, I've got it tied with a rope. Like, so you're just like, wait a minute. She really is. She's in control. She's doing what she wants to do. Because really, everybody is eccentric in this family and in this entire world. All right, this world that Wes Anderson creates, everyone's just a little bit off. You can't really place where in time it takes place. It's kind of New York, but
it is New York. But is it New York? It's supposed to be there.
But
you get certain trappings, but you don't get the feel for it.
Right, but is it the 70s? Is it the 80s? Like, when is it? And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
What's great about
it's its own universe.
So, it's like, oh, okay, she's just kind of finding her center here, but she's got her act together enough that she's not suicidal.
No.
That she's taking steps to ensure her safety by tying off the TV. The TV's fine. TV's not an issue. I got this.
Not.
No, but
yes,
I don't think it is.
No, I don't think so either.
And I don't think
it's
that
just
it's
funny that the mother's seeing.
sort of thing. No, I think that she sees it, and
like,
she has a perfectly legitimate response. Like, no, TV's fine. I'm fine. I think that is a lot about, like, Margot's got more under control, that it's not just this petulant little girl who doesn't want
no.
She's just trying to sort some stuff out, and she's under
in a deep
control
rut,
as she's trying to sort her stuff out.
Yeah.
So, my other one. So we actually
we overlap.
We overlap on that one. We overlap on Shakespeare in Love as well.
Do we now?
We do. Yes.
Okay.
So
that doesn't surprise me.
It doesn't, because it really comes back to, and this really is. I mean, we always talk about how Hollywood loves to tell stories about Hollywood.
Oh,
and
sure does.
This is a behind the scenes of an entertainment kind of thing. So it's similar.
Yeah. It's the same idea.
And,
different time.
Right.
That's all.
So, and it's a story about the play. It's a story about the intersection of the production of this play with the love story.
Yeah.
That comes along. Colin Firth is in this movie. It's a great little bit role for him.
He's the betrothed.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
He is her betrothed, and she's not interested. She's just a free spirit. She wants to act. She loves the theater. And she has that passion. And she'll be Thomas Kent if she needs to be Thomas Kent. But then she starts to fall in love with Bill Shakespeare. It's just like, oh my God. And it's really weird. And when we started talking about doing Gwyneth Paltrow, I was thinking it's been a while, because now you hear Gwyneth Paltrow and you immediately think about Goop. And you think about, it's just like, oh, let's have soap that smells like a candle or someone's vagina or whatever.
A candle, right.
And she's, so you automatically jump to this, like, oh, she's just this crazy lifestyle person. But she's a really good actor. I think so. She can sing. She did a singing stint on Glee for a little bit.
She did the movie where she's the country.
I couldn't tell.
Country strong. No. Anyway, whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's to her. But she's a good actor, and she was doing a lot of really, really cool stuff. And, like, the late 90s, she got the Oscar for Shakespeare.
Shakespeare in Love, yeah.
So I really love seeing her in that, because that's her, I think, at her best in that. And it's such a great vehicle for her to be, an actor. I love seeing actors play actors.
I know it, exactly.
And she also gets to be, like, the beautiful girl in love, which I think is great. And so my next one then goes to Talented Mr. Ripley.
Mm-hmm.
Great movie, beautiful movie. I think it's an underrated Matt Damon movie, and she's what you think when you look at Gwyneth Paltrow. She's beautiful, and she's blonde, and she's in the sun, and she's just not a care in the world.
Not a care in the world. She's got it all together.
Yeah, she's got it all together, and she's just like, sure, we got this friend. That's great. That's fine. And she's all cool until things start getting a little weird.
Yeah.
And I just like seeing her in that because it's I think it's before Gwyneth Paltrow became Goop. You know, and definitely it is before that, but it was before she was associated with any of that stuff. And she was just being an actor and being in beautiful movies. And I really like her character in that movie because she's so unsuspecting. They're all so unsuspecting.
Well,
what's going on. And then that slow realization and that, oh, now there's this character who once had not a care in the world has now got lots of cares in the world.
Right.
And so and I think it's really great. She plays it off really, really well. And I find her to be kind of a breath of fresh air, even as Margot Tenenbaum, where she's she's this breath of fresh air that's got this gray cloud over her.
Yeah.
And,
I love it. I love it.
But I think she's great, and I think she's underrated, to be honest. So that's my Gwyneth.
It's wonderful
Speech.
So we can recap right now. Your three, we overlapped on two. The Royal Tenenbaums and Shakespeare in Love.
Yep.
And then your third one was The Talented Mr. Ripley.
Yes, and your third one was
you don't even know it.
the Sylvia Plath one.
Yeah, Sylvia, it's just called.
Depressing. Who needs that? Anyway, so we had a question. Who do you want to be in a movie?
And the question
Once
was
again,
submitted.
thanks, Niff. Who do you want to be? This is a really difficult question. So, and at first earlier, I was going to say, all right, we'll narrow it down to something, but I'm not.
You know what's funny is
what's the first thing that came to mind when I said that?
I'll tell you, but when you also think about how many years of how many movies.
Oh yeah, but there has to be
unbelievable. Oh, there's definitely
there's one that
when you asked, I knew immediately when you asked. The dude in The Big Lebowski.
All right.
He's in the reason if I could be anybody, be him is because he's just so at peace. He's so complacent to things. What's going to make his day is maybe have a joint, have a couple of White Russians, and go bowling.
Yeah.
And for some reason, it's never really explained. Money doesn't seem to interfere with stuff. I don't know. His rent seems to be paid.
Actually, he's late on his rent. The dude.
Oh yeah. You're right.
But it doesn't seem to concern him.
It doesn't concern him. It always seems to be taken care of. As long as he has his credence tape in the car, he's fine.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that's who I would love to be. Yes, if I could be anybody.
All right.
Which I know is not making points with my wife right now. She'll probably go, "Really? That's who you want to be?" Oh.
This is a really tough one for me because nothing came immediately to me.
Really?
Nothing came immediately.
And you even knew about the question.
And I even knew about the question.
Yeah.
So there's
a lot to pick from.
There really is, and I've seen so many movies.
Yeah.
And it's if one were to come to mind, and
come on, work on.
All right, no, here's the thing. So the question, the answer came to mind, but the question was what movie character. Unfortunately, the person isn't in a movie. So, technically, I guess I could say yes, but it would be because this was a movie before it was a TV show.
Now I'm confused.
Yeah, it was a movie before it was a TV show. So I'll just Hawkeye Pierce.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a movie before.
Yeah, and a book before that.
Yes, and a book before that one.
So yeah, Hawkeye Pierce from MASH.
Yep. Very good.
There's just something about that sort of
that guy.
That quippy, sarcastic, yet kind of good at what he does, and when outraged, morally outraged at something, is not afraid to say this is wrong.
Yeah.
So but that's kind of that character from the show. Alan Alda, portrayal came to mind, and so, but I guess technically the character. So that's all I'll prattle on about.
Okay, Hawkeye.
And I look good in green, so
Whatever you say.
all right. Okay, well, we're gonna do a bucket thing now. He's just gonna grab a bucket. I do look good in green. It brings out my it livens the dead in my eyes. Just shut up.
Oh, you want me to pick one? Okay. He's a team player.
I
He's
look
coming aboard now.
fantastic in green. I'm an autumn.
All right. He's green. Very good. Okay, very well. For me, very good. I think you'll be happy with this one. It's not Ethan Hawke.
It's not Ethan Hawke, so that right there is fantastic. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Yep.
So, folks, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Throw some comments in there. If you have a question for us, like
question.
Thanks again, Nif. That was
We'll be happy.
that was a fun one. Han Solo comes to mind too.
Yeah, that's a good one. No, definitely good.
Love Han Solo. So, yeah, that's
There's
all
some
about
good
that.
ones out there.
So we'll Nurse Ratchet is
Yes.
another one.
Nurse Ratchet. You know something? You're probably a lot more like Nurse Ratchet than you think.
Probably closer to. I really am. I do like comfortable shoes. So, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Take care.
Woo!